Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And I have to tell you, every day, this is becoming almost like the OJ trial. Every day, something new is coming out, and it's like this Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, now this really sick guy named Milo Yiannopoulos, who is just, I mean, you almost get AIDS watching this guy, hearing this guy talk. He's involved now in this whole saga. This guy Thiel is involved. Peter Thiel. I the only reason why I've heard of his name is I think he was like one of the first investors in Facebook 30 years ago when Facebook first started. His name is coming up. Tucker Carlson's nowhere to be seen on this. I think he just doesn't want to be involved. But it seems like these mainstream people, Owens, Carlson, Jason Whitlock, they've opened up Pandora's box, and this guy Fuentes has just gone to town on them, and they don't know how to stop him because they've all been compromised. And in this video that I found on X, it's pretty cool the way they have the music and all that stuff going. I mean, Fuentes just went fucking apeshit on these people. They're all compromised. They all get big paychecks from outside sources. And I'm telling you, being that I was in the business for a while, I can tell you that advertisers or outside sources that pay those bills, they tell you what to say. They tell you what to say. They tell you what content to produce, what they want to see, when they want to see it, and who they want to see it about. And so Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, if you think that they're independent voices, you're out of your fucking mind. They're told what to say, and that's why they're running for the hills now. And they're in big, I'm telling you, their credibility is in big, big trouble now. They were supposed to be, these two were supposed to be, Tucker Carlson and Owens, were supposed to be the new wave of unabashed, honest, to the point, in your face journalism. And now I watched them. I watched their podcast, especially Tucker Carlson. I was never into Owens. I always thought she was just a token. But Carlson, I liked him. And now, the guy lied about the CIA. What else is he lying about? But this is a great video here of Fuentes just losing his mind on this. He goes absolutely crazy, and he's giving out the tea, and he's got cups for everybody, and the tea is flowing. And if you're an establishment person, you don't like it, and if you're an establishment person, you're a little worried right now. Because this guy, this 26-year-old guy from Chicago, as Tucker Carlson kept saying, he is making more waves than anybody in the media world right now. And I pay attention to stuff in the media. There's no one even close at this point in time to being as viral, as listened to, and as, I gotta say, followed like Nick Fuentes. He might be the biggest streamer in the world right now. Relevant streamer. I'm not talking about these idiots who make these Walmart videos where they get chased by security. I'm not talking about those stupid things. I'm talking about stuff where you're getting information. And here you're just getting. And I'm not a drama guy. I don't like rumors. I don't like gossip. But this is unbelievable. This is like 3 Days of the Condor type shit. I mean, all this crazy stuff that's coming out. It's amazing. And it's on the net. And this is what mainstream people like Tucker Carlson, because he's older than me, like Bill O'Reilly, what Glenn Beck, what those mainstream, neocons just don't understand is that the internet doesn't lie. You could put lies on there, but sooner or later, your comeuppance is gonna bite you in the ass. The internet will bite you because something that you put 20 years ago is still on there. It never goes away. It never goes away. Let's look at Nick over here while he watches a video of Candace Owens and Milo Yiannopoulos, whatever the hell his name is. Milo is he says that he's a practicing Catholic. He says he's very Catholic. I don't know how he could be as homosexual and depraved as he is and be Catholic, but he was born Jewish. He doesn't tell people that, of course, but he was. And he's very outspoken. He was very outspoken about Candace Owens. He was very outspoken about her husband. There were times on Twitter or X that he accused her husband of being a homosexual. You know, I mean, he would know. They got that gaydar. And he went after her. He called her a dark-skinned dyke and all sorts of terrible things. But let's see if Candace made up with him. Now, I noticed the demeanor. Look at the body language. If you ever took public relation courses in school or was in public relations, body language is everything. And the way Candace is sitting and the way she's looking over at him, she's very comfortable. She likes him. She might be a little intimidated by him, so that's why she's being girly. She was not like this with Nick. She was very confrontational with Nick, very in a defensive mode. But here, that posture is not the same. Let's see how this interview goes. And let's see what the kind of receipts Mr. Fuentes brings in.
I have a feeling he's going to really pleasantly surprise us all, because I think the expectations for him were so low. He's a creation of Peter. People are always like suspicious about, he's a creation of Peter Thiel, without really explaining what it is about that that's bad.
Well, what's bad about Peter Thiel? He's an FBI informant.
Yeah.
That's for starters. Among many, 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 many other things. How about this? How about another explanation? How about another joke, Murray? How about this? This is a good reason? Palantir tech giant struggles to answer question about Israel's use of AI-generated kills. I defer to Israel.
You always hear that.
How about this? How about that? How about the greatest hits? How about the greatest hits of all fucking time? What do you think of this one? This is from 2017. I reached Posobiec by phone on Saturday. The previous day, he told me he had flown from Washington to Miami to attend a party hosted by the far-right self-promoter Milo Yiannopoulos. Posobiec spent much of Friday morning monitoring 4chan poll. People were claiming something big was coming, so I just keep hitting refresh, he told me. Shortly before 3 p.m., an anonymous user posted 9 gigabytes of information, hacked emails, photographs, and documents from the campaign of Emmanuel Macron. Posobiec could not know whether all the information was authentic. He considered it his journalistic duty to tell his followers about the leak, which he was tipped off about. Oh, but it gets better. It gets so much better. Because guess who's at this party? This was retweeted hundreds of times. The tweet seems to stagnate. Posobiec is an anti-globalist. He sent out a few more tweets, hashtag Macron leaks, then went to the rented mansion party where the Cinco de Milo party was being held. Yiannopoulos made his grand entrance, descending a curving staircase with a large yellow snake around his neck. I think they left something else out, if we can find it. There was something else that he had there. He was also draped in an Israeli flag. Do you know that about the party? Here he is with all these black men, a boa. And at some point he put on an Israeli flag at this party where they're attacking Macron. This was 8 years ago. Now here's the coup de grace. This is going to bring it home once and for all. This is from yesterday. Heartbroken fans. Pleads for Musk and Trump to just get back together already. Divorce is always hardest on the kids, but J.D. Vance still seems to think there's scope for Elon Musk and Donald Trump to pick up the pieces after their messy split. I really think it's a mistake for him to try to break from the president, Vance told the Gateway Pundit. My hope is that by the time of the midterms, he's going to come back into the fold. It really makes you think. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Candace Owens does a hit piece on me. It backfires. She does a thing with Tucker Carlson where Tucker says, oh, J.D. Vance is a real patriot. It backfires. Candace brings on Milo, who defends J.D. Vance. A week later, Elon Musk is replying to Milo. saying I'm a fad. This is a day after J.D. Vance is lobbying Trump to bring Elon back into the White House before the midterms. Do you see what's going on here?
And there you have it. I mean, that was kind of fun. I mean, it's the receipts are there, and the question they have to ask now is anyone safe? Is anyone safe from the receipts? Because it seems like everybody who gets involved in this, Fuentes finds stuff about them that is totally embarrassing. I mean, poor Elon. All he said was, he made the suggestion. I saw the tweet, and Fuentes went right after him and hit him hard. And this comes at the point where, will anybody attack this guy anymore? Any establishment people attack this guy anymore? People who have no connections to DC or to billionaires or whatever. People like, I don't want to put myself in that category, but people like you or maybe lower level people in government, they don't have any connections to Epstein, the FBI, CIA, all this stuff. They can ridicule Nick all they want, but they don't have the voice, the exposure. Anybody who has a big voice, it seems, have been compromised, except so far, Nick Fuentes. And at one time, I thought that Joe Rogan would probably be the most important person in social media history. I still do. But it's coming to the point now where I'm thinking that this guy, Nick Fuentes, might be the biggest and the greatest streamer in the history of social media. He might be 100 years from now. I mean, none of us will know. Of course, we'll all be in the great beyond. But 100 years from now, when they talk about internet history, just like they talk about movie history, music history, I think he's going to be in the top 10 of those most influential people. Especially if things blow up even more, because he's hitting people where it hurts. He's hitting them with their networking, where their income is coming from, and their hypocrisy. That's the bad thing. They're getting hit where they don't want to be hit. They want to be known as conservative, the Owens and Milo and Tucker. And I know he didn't mention Jason Whitlock, or we're going to talk about Jason Whitlock tomorrow. But he's hitting these people and he's making them look bad. He's killing their credibility while they're trying to destroy his. And he's doing a great job of it. And I think it's because of a few things. A, thus far, he's honest. So he has nothing to hide. So he's like, fuck it. You want to come after me? Go ahead. But I have nothing to hide. And that's the most dangerous man. It's the man that has nothing to lose, nothing to hide. And number two, and this is a very, very important point. All of these people that are going after him and that he's rebutting, they all have connections to high-end government people. They all have connections to the feds. It seems like they all have connections with Israel. They all have connections with billionaires. And for some reason, I don't know why, I just have this feeling that this whole Epstein list and these islands and these parties and this crazy debauchery that they seem to all be involved in, well, not involved in, but this debauchery that is rumored to be going on behind the scenes, these people might have some sort of connection to it. And that destroys their credibility, and it could destroy their lives. And this guy here, Nick Fuentes, is the guy who might be the guy with the poison tea. Because right now, he's serving it up. He's serving it up, and I wouldn't want to be around him. I mean, I want to, you know, as the Godfather says, you know, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. I would, if I knew that I had done some crazy shit, I'd be supporting this guy left and right. You gotta, because if you go after him, he finds shit. I don't know how he finds all this stuff, but he just combs the internet, and all of a sudden there's pictures of you, you know, with a Israeli flag draped around your neck, and, you know, 7 black guys behind you ready to ram you. Or there's, you know, crazy text messages that he has that Candace Owens sends him, or Milo had sent him about January 6th, that make Milo look, you know, you accused the guy of being a Fed for the January 6th people, but then you sent him a text message, a long text messages the night before, you know, talking to him like he was your buddy, like you completely trusted him. If you completely trusted him, well, you know, if you thought he was a Fed, why would you text him all this information that you had? So it looks bad. It looks bad. And right now in this war, this social media war, which I'm new to, I've never seen anything like this. I know that people go back and forth on X and Facebook and all those places, but this seems to be something much bigger, something that most people my age wouldn't be able to handle. And I think that's why Tucker Carlson is bowing out. And I knew he would. I knew he's not going to get involved. But this guy Milo, Candace Owens, she's on the rampage. She's on X every day. It seems every second of the day. I mean, when is she breastfeeding her kids? When, you know, she's on X so much. But it seems like this is an ongoing issue. It's going to keep going until somebody blinks, as we said last night. And I think Candace will be the first one to blink, because right now it just seems that Nick is an unstoppable force, and they are trying to gang up on him, and he's knocking them down one by one, and they can't handle it. They just can't handle it. They can't handle the truth, as our boy Jack Nicholson said. All right, well, there's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Be careful out there, my friends. Satan is always busy, and you see that. Those parties, that was Sodom and Gomorrah that you just saw. Don't go to those Milo parties. Don't go to Cinco de Milos. Be a man. Have a backbone, because common sense and masculinity are worth standing up for. And just remember, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you later.